All right, today we're gonna do a Hustler Casino Live style fantasy draft where we each pick 5 players and we're trying to pick the players who would win the most amount of money at this theoretical 10-person table. Whose 5-person team is going to do the best? And they have to have played a minimum of 15 sessions on Hustler Casino.
Right, and be welcome on the stream at this point.
Currently.
Which I think rules out probably what would have been your #1 pick.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with my legs.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Just keep them, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm like, all right. This side, you get to pick first. This side, I pick first.
Yep. Okay.
That is you.
That's me.
You go first.
Easy pick. I'm going with Rampage.
I ain't pick up the phone. All that shit that I'm on. Already. Yeah.
Rampage has won over $1 million on Hustler Casino Live. I think over the past couple years, Rampage has become like an extremely strong player, versatile. He's good at both tournaments. He's good at cash. I think he's developed from somebody who had a reputation like as a punter.
Ram punts?
Yeah, it was like ram punts. And I think like from what I've seen on Hustler, yeah, he gives action, but like he plays really, really solid. I think
in the $1 million game, he was one of the people who did his reputation no harm and made maybe one of the most famous bluffs now on Hustler and got, was it hands to fold top set?
Yeah.
Again, if you're coming into this hand in the middle, super unorthodox.
Yeah, he must hate me.
Blind versus blind hands just called pre-flop. And he's gonna fold, and Rampage gets it through.
I'm very happy with Rampage as my #1 pick in the Hustler Casino Live fantasy draft.
Yeah, it's a strong start. I think I can match it, and I think that would have to be Mariano.
All right.
It kind of hit me.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Police department, the new sheriff.
He's become someone who's comfortable, deep stack. He's just clearly a winner. He's up over $1 million, and clearly now someone who's played a bunch of 200, 400 plus, he's not scared of money.
And he has very bulbous arms.
He has arms, he has a following. I think he's someone who's going to be here for quite some time.
All right, Rampage versus Mariano, round 1. I am going with my favorite financial advisor, King Henry.
Yes.
Makes big plays, he wins a lot of money, he plays very, very solid, and he's not afraid.
I'm not afraid!
To get out of line a little bit against people he thinks are getting out of line. I think he's a pretty good exploit poker player.
And he's also just, again, another person who's shown up at least once a week, if not more. Strong player like him is going to put in solid performance. One of the things that maybe you're underestimating is how often they're going to get to play, how often they want to play, and if maybe the winds change, will they continue to be able to play? And I think that factors into my next pick, which would be Nick Airball.
On the river.
At the crime scene, left lots of clues. Dropped his tools, lost both socks and shoes. Somebody saw the dude.
I think he has carved himself out a niche as someone who is going to be welcome, brings eyeballs, brings entertainment. In the full ring games, his creativity, his willingness to put all the money in, I think he has the potential to do very well.
All right, pretty good pick. I am going with Stanley Choi.
Oh wow, up until now, that ain't occurred to me giving a smile.
Not to be confused with Stanley Tang, the founder of DoorDash. Did I change my name to Stanley? That seems to be a way to just guarantee being a billionaire. There's no Gethens who are billionaires.
Stanley, very unassuming, but if you watch him, he just plays really, really, really solid poker. He has a very good sense of feel for what people are doing. Not afraid.
I'm not afraid!
To just make like some huge, huge hero folds where he's been.
And some huge hero calls.
I feel good about Stanley. I think he's a little bit of a sleeper pick.
Well, so many people profile in poker, right? An older guy, probably not up to date with his strategy. Maybe he's just here because he's got money and he wants a bit of attention. But then you watch him play, I think he is the new silent assassin. That would have been my pick. You've snatched that one away from me. I think I'm gonna have to go with the guy again who's, I think, maybe leading the show in number of appearances, up a pretty hefty sum, and that would have to be Nick Vitucci.
You're going with all the Nicks.
I mean, well, when you've got one who's known as the Nick Vitucci and one who's known as Airball, you gotta mix it up. Nick has obviously demonstrated that you can go from being the spot in the game to being an obvious and big winner. You don't just become a winning player by playing less hands, because if that was true, you just wouldn't show up to the casino and you would have a 0% VPIP and make all the money.
He's just not going to have any big punts. He's not going to have any big losses.
He's the kind of guy who's there waiting for the guy who's trying to make the highlight play, who runs into that brick wall. Nick Vitucci is that brick wall.
Nick Vitucci has a juicy, big, fat ass, and I love the way it wiggles in the moonlight. Pick number 4, I'm going with my favorite snowboarding instructor, Mr. Mars.
Please don't act like we were close.
Mr. Mars up over a cool $500,000 on the show.
So.
Another guy who's kind of unassuming, a little bit quieter, kind of slides under the radar. I think just pretty solid poker player.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. That was maybe where I was going, but that's fine. That's fine. I can wiggle that ass over to someone else. I was gonna say it's Slim Pickens, but the next guy is not the slimmest, but he is one of the nicest, and that would be Decaf, Mr. Billy.
I gotta go, I don't know if I'm ready. The snow in the bag, it don't fall like confetti. It's me and my brothers, it's Ed and Eddie.
Oh, you stole my pick. You stole my...
I think, just again, one of the good guys...
Baby Billy.
Baby Billy has turned Max Payne Monday into what it is. Plays some of the most entertaining poker in those games. Isn't all about the EV, is a demonstration that poker doesn't just have to be a zero-sum game. Has some intangible skills outside of a strategy that make him compelling viewing both on and off the felt.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. I'm ready for my number 5 pick. This one's gonna be a little bit under the radar. I was holding out hope that Billy would be there at 5. I'm going with the guy Billy likes to plug the most.
Are we talking about one of the best commentators on Hustler?
Nope. We are talking Sandman.
It's gonna call. Hey!
They try to erase in my memory. I think that creates an identity. I think that's what makes you my enemy.
He's only played 18 sessions, mostly on Max Payne Monday. There have been multiple times when I didn't know Sandman that well, and I'll just say, you know what, there's no way. No one could be bluffing here in a million years. And I'll just make a really big fold. And then he'll just show me Queen High. Whenever you think like, oh, this spot is under bluffed, no, it's not. Not by Sandman.
He loves to bat.
But also, when it comes to the really big spots, the really important spots, you know he's going to play well. You know he's going to execute.
I like that as a pick. Put me in a bind.
I put you in a pickle.
If there was a pickle here, I would climb inside it. I don't think I would fit, but I would try.
What type of pickle?
Dill.
No, Larry's pickles.
Larry's pickles. Sorry, what was I thinking?
Oh my god. Type of pickles.
This is where the advantage of going second is sure you miss out on maybe the first pick, the cutest, but you get to tailor your pick to the lineup that he's going to be playing in. And I think this is the toughest game that Hustler would have ever had. When a game gets tough,
I know who you're going with.
You need someone
I know who you're going with.
Who has a good understanding of game theory.
Here it comes.
Is probably the most elite commentator on Hustler, and that would be Mr. Zio.
Please don't act like we were close.
Clearly, from watching him play, has put in time in the lab. Doesn't necessarily bring a lot to the table when it comes to the entertainment, but I think in a game this tough, you want someone who can play well and is going to be able to put players like Henry and Stanley in spots where they aren't able to make range folds and aren't able to make big exploits because they know they're playing against someone who's playing a fundamental strategy.
It's a good pick. Let's recap. Who's your 5?
I have Mariano leading me off, the man who is the new baby Garrett, or so I'm told. The 2 Nicks, Vitucci and Airball, Billy, and then I have Zio.
I have Rampage, Henry, Stanley Choi, Mars, and Sandman.
I think you have a stronger underlying skill set of players, but I think I have more X factors, and I think that...
What does that mean, X factors?
I think...
You sound like a 70-year-old baseball commentator on AM radio.
I have more X factors. I don't remember why I picked them, because they were people that I remembered their names.
Well, if your life depended on it, whose fantasy team would you take here?
I would take yours, because I think you have more players who are going to show up and play well every day, whereas I have some players who may, on occasion, bring some C and D game. There's one bit of advice for being a bigger winner in poker is more A and less B when it comes to playing your best games.
All right.